So I'm Diann Neu, co-founder and co-director with Mary Hunt of WATER, the Women's Alliance for Theology, Ethics, and Ritual. It's a pleasure to welcome you tonight to this solstice of resistance, solidarity, and recommitment. And I'm here with Annalie North Martin, our faithful IT person, and Wed and Magdalena, our interns for the year, with Irene and the Brethren group. So this is the season of winter solstice festivals in the Northern Hemisphere. And Carly, we all wish we were in the Southern Hemisphere with you, celebrating with the warmth. On December 21st, the night is the longest and the day is the shortest here in the Northern Hemisphere, while the day is the longest and the night is the shortest in Australia. So we're kind of celebrating both. Winter brings the sweet darkness and calls the sun from the womb of night. So whether you're in winter darkness or sun, this is a solstice hour. Virtually all cultures have their own ways of marking the winter solstice and the summer solstice by using the symbol of light. Lighting candles, placing candles or lights on a tree. I noticed Annalie has her lights on her room. Burning a Yule log or decorating houses with extra lights. Our neighborhood just lit up after yesterday. I think people got the lights up. We haven't gotten ours up yet, while the weather is a little bit warmer. Many religious traditions mark the light breaking through the night. The Hindu Diwali is in November. The Jewish Hanukkah is in December, the early part. The Christian Advent is December. And Christmas itself is the stable one of December 25th. The Buddhist Bodhi Day is on December 8th. The winter solstice, always on December 21st, and the summer solstice on December 21st. The Chinese Dongzi Festival is on December 22nd, and the African American Kwanzaa is December 26th to January 1st. Oh my, people are celebrating the coming of the light, the return of the light. And tonight, we desperately awaken the light of peace.
Light is returning, even though this is the darkest hour. No one can hold back the dawn. Let us keep it burning. Let us keep the light of hope alive. Make safe our journey through the storm. One planet is turning, circle on her path around the sun. Earth Mother is calling her children home. Come on home, children, come on home. Come on home, children, come on. Light is returning, even though this is the darkest hour. No one can hold
Lighting candles of peace. From generation to generation, people honor the darkness and call light from the womb of night. We light 5 candles to welcome peace, resistance, solidarity, and recommitment into the world. The candle of the South. I light our first candle, the candle of the South, to welcome peace in the Southern Hemisphere as they celebrate the summer solstice. We unite especially with those who have migrated from Mexico and face hostility at the US border. May solidarity come now.
While they're lighting the candle, Wed, be sure and tell us the story.
I light the candle of the East in solidarity with those in Asia and the Middle East, especially civilians in Gaza, Palestine, Israel, Syria, and Korea. May peace come now.
I light the candle of the North for those who are afraid of losing democracy, for immigrants, Muslims, Jews, communities of color, sexual and gender minorities, our trans siblings, and those who have experienced violence, gun violence, intimate partner violence, domestic violence, and sexual violence. May justice come now.
I light the candle of the West. For those who experience devastation of natural catastrophes, wildfires and floodings, and those who work for climate justice. May recommitment come now.
I light the candle of the center for all of us. Those who have died this season and those who will be born this solstice. Put their names in the chat if you wish. For those who have died, for those who will be born. May serenity come now. We pray for Aunt Marguerite, Roger, and Joanne Roth, Judith Haney, my beloved Pat, Betheo, Ellie, Bruce Wallace, my cousin who died yesterday. Oh, Patricia.
Let us bless these lights of resistance. Blessed are you, Holy One of Solidarity, for you empower us to kindle flames of recommitment. Let us warm our hands over this fire. Cup your hands over the flame, and draw the light to your eyes 3 times. For resistance, for solidarity, for recommitment. Let us open our hands outward and send light to those who need it now.
Let us spread peace and solidarity far and wide. To friends who share joys and sorrows, the light of friendship to you. To the people living in war-torn countries, the light of peace to you. To people with cancer and those who are sick, the light of healing to you. To families divided by differences, the light of reconciliation to you. To children of every race, family, and country, the light of love to you. To people in despair, the light of hope to you. To those who feel alone, the light of connecting with community to you. To those who are without homes, the light of shelter to you. To those who are hungry, the light of food to you. To those who have no job, the light of remunerative work to you. To those who fight for human rights, the light of resistance to you. To those who are dying, the light of a peaceful death to you. To children being born this day, the light of life and health to you. To those who experience discrimination in any form, the light of justice to you. To those struggling to just show up for themselves, the light of self-love and forgiveness to you. To the elected leaders of every country, the light of solidarity and truth for the global community to you. To women who experience violence from war, rape, and religion, the light of safety and restitution to you. And to young children growing up today, the light of hope to you.
Is still
The spirit of solstice is still living here. How are resistance and solidarity returning to your life and life around you? What do you need to recommit to? And how can we look out for each other during this solstice and beyond? You can see the words on the screen. Take a moment of quiet just to say them aloud to yourself. And listen to what's touching your heart tonight. It can be one of these questions, it can be something else. When Annalie does her magic and puts us in groups, be sure and share your name. We'll see it on the screen, but it's good to say it out loud. And where you're from. It's amazing the kind of connections that we make here. And then after, what do you think, Annalie, 10 minutes or so? They're never long enough. We'll come back into the whole and do some more sharing. So enjoy meeting new people or being with ones you already know.
I've opened up all the rooms, but if anybody has any trouble getting into their room, please let me know and I will assist as possible. Carol, if you need any assistance, please let me know. It looks like your screen is frozen. Okay, cool.
So welcome back, everyone. Did you meet somebody new? I see some shaking of heads. Did you have a conversation with somebody old, an old friend? Yeah. This is a time when we just open the screens. Think about what you heard, what you said, or what is bubbling up inside of you right now. Now, you can use your paw like this, and Annalie and I will be able to see it. Or, oh, she put the yellow hand up. Or you can use that yellow hand since we all know how to do it now. So think about what you heard, what you said, what's in your heart right now after sharing with new and familiar people. Judy Heffernan, I see a mouth moving, but you're on mute. Do you want to unmute or do you want Annalie to unmute you?
No, I'm probably just talking to myself. I'm
Oh,
anxious to hear what people say.
all right. Put yourself
Thank you.
on mute if you want to keep talking to yourself. Or
Virginia is raising her hand there.
Yeah, Virginia.
Well, we were pleased in our group to welcome Erin. It's been a while, and she gave me great hope in her plans for a ritual herself coming up on behalf of Palestine. And she mentioned that there are a lot of young people in her group, and that gave me hope. So I'm grateful for that.
Mhm. Thank you, Virginia. Someone else. Debbie?
Well, I appreciate, I'm from California, and the other two people, one from St. Louis, Missouri, and one from near Toronto in Canada. And we, the main theme was about getting through it all together and just listening and it's kind of like we find somehow a connection with somebody and realize, oh, well, I think the story was kind of like it's not all bad that we can find people to have that connection with. And of course, this ritual in our even in our breakout rooms, kind of symbolizes that you can find each other from across the country and in the other country. And if it doesn't get better, we're going to move to Canada. But at least I have now I have a friend there that I can move to. But we're finding hope in that. And then we shared a little bit about just different commitments. And I personally recommitting myself to Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America, where I had been a activist with them and renewing that commitment.
Thanks, Debbie, and a great commitment, especially after last night's killing of the 15-year-old girl.
Jean?
I mean, there were several things that struck me, but I think the strongest thing that struck me was it kind of comes after what you just said about connecting. That the three of us who were on, we're talking about, in a sense, what is it we need to connect with within ourselves, but beyond ourselves, in order to really seriously recommit. And it felt to me like a commonness in those things that we women needed. And that was really helpful to me, so that, if I walk around saying that to some people, they would wonder about me. So to be it felt belonging, and that's important to me.
Mhm. Thank you, Jean.
All right. It's been probably 35 years since I've been to a water. I was in the office and we sat on the floor, if I remember right. It was wonderful to look you all up and find it still thriving. It's just wonderful. And then to see the young people, and I feel like Annalie, I maybe know your parents. Anyways, to see, it's just, it fills my heart with joy. And I'm choosing to focus on those things, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And thank you all. Thank you, Diann.
You're welcome. And Erin, now you've tweaked my curiosity. 35 years ago, we just celebrated Water's 40th, and we're into the 40+1 season. 35 years ago, how did you connect with us? Were you a student in the area, perhaps, or?
I was a volunteer, a Mennonite volunteer.
Okay.
Right out of college, and Cindy Lapp was a good friend of mine, or is a good friend of mine. So it was mainly through her.
She's coming for lunch on Thursday.
Oh yeah. Oh, and Chris Herman is another good friend of mine.
Yep. Chris. Yep. Chris Chris and Kelly hung around water as 35 years ago, you said?
Well, 30. It was early 1990.
We love all these connections.
Yeah.
Thank you. And thank you for being here tonight. One last thought before we move on.
Diann,
Rosemary.
I just want to tell you a little amusing story.
Go for it.
I was privileged to meet my fellow Canadians. There were 60 of them getting these medals from the Governor General.
Show everybody your medal again.
Oh yeah. Oh, I sleep with it.
Oh yeah, there you go. Okay.
But Rosemary, I want to know what letters you have after your name, because I couldn't really understand that from your article. Please tell me.
Well, it's CM. I'm empowered to use Rosemary Ganley, CM. That means Canada member. But there's higher orders, but I don't think I'll go for them. But what I enjoyed so much, my children said to me, Mother, we looked at the list of the 60 people, and we want you to look up Savage Bear, and Joe Average. They're there on the list. So over lunch, I went looking for Savage Bear. She has a doctorate. She's an Indigenous woman, and she's head of Indigenous studies at her university.
Great.
And she uses her Aboriginal name, Savage Bear. So we had a lovely chat. And then I went looking for Joe Average. Now, Joe is from Vancouver, and he is a HIV/AIDS activist, and he's suffered from the illness for a long time. And he looked really gaunt. But women, he was decked in pearls. And I was wearing my pearls, so we connected. So, and we had he was just a lovely person, and with his cause. Everybody there had a cause. Even the corporate leaders had their causes. Anyway, I felt blessed by the diversity. That's what I felt blessed by.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I see clapping going on. A standing ovation to you, Rosemary. You can't see it, but the clapping of the hands. The wisest woman among us.
I have to use the 15 minutes of fame for what I believe in. And, you know, Magdalena was saying she's just going to rediscover what her convictions are.
Mm.
And then use her voice.
Sounds like a good challenge for all of us. Thank you, Rosemary. Thank you, Magdalena. So Annalie, take us the next round into action.
Yeah, let us take action with these thoughts and with our convictions. Take care of yourself this week and throughout the holiday season. If that's getting enough sleep or, you know, taking a bubble bath or moving your body in ways that you need to. Show up and engage in the fight for social justice. Speak up about intolerance and injustice, and these all go together. Don't conform to harmful societal norms and reflect on your values, that you're not just going with the flow. And volunteer at a women's shelter or a food pantry in your community, especially this holiday season.
So before I give us a sending forth, I have a volunteer shelter story to share. We got a listserv, neighborhood listserv announcement today that the local food pantry and shelter and thrift shop was giving away free doggy ice cream. So Mary, I was still home. Mary phoned and said, get over there and get some of that free doggy ice cream for all the dogs we know. So Min and I went over, and this huge box that barely fits into our freezer, we came home with 2 of them. We stopped one off at Neighbors who will share, it looks to me like maybe 24. It's Ben and Jerry's for dogs.
Oh,
If you can imagine. So that is a take home or a take action. And they were just giving the boxes for the dogs. So close your eyes and feel the power of the darkness around you and within you. Call forth your light, creativity, and healing powers. Filled with the power of this solstice, which is December 21st, and we're only 17, so you've got 4 more days to get ready. So let's go forth to be peace in the world. Let's be in solidarity with family, which is sometimes the most difficult, with neighbors, which might be a little easier, colleagues, we're often on the same page, and friends. Let's recommit. to taking care of ourselves. A number of us said that tonight. To living joyfully. As we were walking in Canada with the snow in our faces, it was such a fun, joyful moment. We don't have that kind of snow in Washington. So stick to your values and service and engage in social justice and show up for the fight. There are going to be big ones coming. Empower others, protect democracy, and offer kindness and empathy. Envision a better future and spread goodness and hope. Let's resist violence and hatred, harmful stereotypes, behaviors and habits, manipulation, negative self-talk, intolerance, injustice, looking the other way, pessimism, pressure to conform to harmful societal norms. Let's go forth to spread the good news of peace, resistance, solidarity, and recommitment far and wide. May these be the songs of our hearts and the light of our life.
Light one candle for the Maccabee children, with thanks that their light didn't die. And light one candle for the pain they endured when their right to exist was denied. Light one candle for the terrible sacrifice justice and freedom demand. Light one candle for the wisdom to know when the peacemaker's time is at hand. Don't let the light go out, it's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out, let it shine through our love and our tears. Light one candle for the strength that we need to never become our own foe. And light one candle for those who are suffering pain we learned so long ago. Light one candle for all we believe in, let anger not tear us apart. And light one candle to bind us together, with peace as the song in our heart. Don't let the light go out, it's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out, let it shine through our love and our tears. Don't let the light go out, it's lasted for so many years.
Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. For Judy with that spreading of the light reading, for the candle lighters, Annalie, Magdalena, Wed, myself,